A Ruud reunion. Man United entertains Ruud van Nistelrooy's Leicester City for the first time since his departure from the club where he was interim manager after serving as an assistant for the axed Erik ten Hag. For the players, it will be a feeling of confusion, love and hate, you would call it, or friendly fire, is it? Trust you me, this is an important game for Man United, not just because we are the holders of the title, but because this is the game that will ease the pressure on these players, especially being at Old Trafford. Welcome to the United Hot Sport. Here is the team news and match preview of this important game, which United can win and progress as the first team to make it into the last 16 of this competition. So all important in every sense of the word. But what is the mood of the players? That should be the question. I mean, Ruud van Nistelrooy is a guy to whom so many of these players, owe a lot. Amad Diallo kept waxing lyric about how he helped him, and even Ruben Amorim himself kept saying Ruud van Nistelrooy helped his players a lot before he arrived. Bruno Fernandes explained at some point in an interview, you know how he wants to talk too much at times, about what he's going to do to him when he comes, when he sees him at Old Trafford. We are going to do what? I'm going to give him this to sign. You have the guy's number. Just pick up the phone and call him and give him whatever you want to give him. I don't just do things for the gallery or for the camera. I mean, all we want is Man United to be winning games of football. So, but anyhow, so it's going to be an interesting game, and you wonder what attitude the players will have, because I'll tell you, there are certain Man United players perhaps who would have felt that Ruud van Nistelrooy should have stayed as the head coach or as the manager of Man United before Amorim was brought in. So I will tell you, it's without a shadow of a doubt that there are people who are happier working under Ruud van Nistelrooy than they are under Ruben Amorim. So what will be the mentality of these players? I think it's an opportunity for us to see the fight and the fire. Do they love the badge more than whichever sentiments they might have about Ruud? What exactly are they going to give us? For me, it's a divine opportunity for us to one more time see the proper attitude of these players and what they are willing to give for the badge. But it's an important game, guys, because do recall that Ruud van Nistelrooy beat, as coach of Man United in the interim, he beat Leicester City by 3-0, if you do recall that. So we've beaten them twice already this season. Certainly, it's a team that will feel a little comfortable facing, because if you've beaten them before, why not? If you've beaten them twice before, why not believe that you can beat them in an important game like this? So it's going to be an interesting one, but we know that games at Old Trafford are not coming easy lately for Man United. The jitters are always there. You can see players shaking, and the opposition, always English opposition, will always exploit those nerves and jitters, and they will punish you at it. So it's going to be a critical game that United might want to do their best. Now, of course, there is no Lisandro Martinez, who has missed all but 3 of Ruben Amorim's games in charge, 19 to be precise. He has missed only 3. So Licha is not there for this important fixture. So who will be there? We know that Victor Lindelof is back from injury, training with the team. We do know that Aiden Heaven as well is there, because the other player who can play in the same position as Licha. Are we going to see Aiden Heaven get his debut? It's possible, guys. It's possible. Aiden Heaven could be given his full debut. Amorim is crazy like that. He can drop him there and play him. But also, there are several other options there. He has played Lenny Yoro. I've heard Lenny Yoro before mention that I heard him in the interview with Roy Ferdinand. He said he's a bit comfortable playing on the left, because when he gets the ball on the right, he can swing a pass and stuff. It's interesting, how each player feels on the pitch. But Lenny Yoro says he feels more comfortable playing on the left-hand side of the back three. That was quite strange for a right-footed player. But yeah. So we'll see what solution Amorim gets in that department. Luke Shaw had returned to training. We hear that he's got a major setback that he could be dropping off yet again for some time. So you don't want to dwell a lot on him. So what is the solution that Amorim will have? The beauty, though, with that with United now is that there's a bit of depth in the backline. If you look at the defense, probably even when Lisandro Martinez is not there, and not to say that he's not missed, I think he's missed. He's low-key irreplaceable, but at least there are players in that back three who can come in there and fill the void. Harry Maguire has played on the left. Lenny Yoro, like I said, has played there. We've seen Mazraoui play there before. Dalot can play there. We know that Delete can play there. So we've got options perhaps to try and help us manage during these remaining games where the mighty Licha is not there. So that shouldn't be a big concern. Now the thing is, for me, and I will not go into the system and Amorim's system against Ruud van Nistelrooy's system. For me, it's mostly going to be about the psyche of the players because, like I said, there is history between Man United and Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's a legend at Old Trafford. The fans and everyone loves Ruud van Nistelrooy. I mean, even the fans love Ruud van Nistelrooy. In fact, I watch Leicester City games and I see them losing games for fun at times, and I feel bad because it feels like he might be sacked, yet he was brought in to serve the team. And it feels bad a bit. You don't want to see him suffer. There's that attachment all Man United supporters, we all have towards Ruud van Nistelrooy. So you can imagine that perhaps even all the fans feel the same. These players who worked with him as well feel the same. So the atmosphere at Old Trafford will be quite odd and strange. So that would favor the Leicester City players. And for me, that's why I want to see what kind of reaction. How then is Amorim going to prepare the players for that, but also for the atmosphere, for what kind of vibe is going to come from the stands. But whichever it is, the players have still got to focus on the game and give their best. So it's going to be a critical time. We do expect to see Patrick Dogu make his debut. Where he will play, we may not be able to guess now, but probably on the left wing back, that's where he will be, especially given that Teacher is not there. Perhaps on another day could have been inverted and plays the right wing back behind Ahmad, but perhaps he could be on the left. But I expect Dogu to be making his debut, full debut proper. But the question then will be, of course, if you have Dogu, we are hoping for a player who is going to open up the opposition more, keep them busy more, keep them on their toes more. That's what we expect. But then who is then going to score the goals? We know that in the past weeks, Ruben Amorim has been working so much with Chido Obi. He has been trying so much to prepare Chido Obi for something. You wonder whether this is the game, because already we know that Amorim makes decisions and he tries to be consistent with them and back them. He dropped both strikers, that is Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, for the last game against Crystal Palace, played Kobe as a 9. I don't see him playing Kobe again as a 9, but I see him trying to find another solution for that position. If he had options in the middle, I'm certain he would have pushed Bruno as a false 9, because he's probably United's best finisher and most technically gifted player who knows how to make movements in whichever situation. So, but because he doesn't have the options in the middle, certainly he cannot get his ball player leading the line so far up the pitch, who is going to be getting the ball to him. So then what solution will he get? So again, there is talks of us seeing Chido Obi soon. Could this be the game? Again, we can only wait and see. But the thing is, United's best players have got to step up their game. Ahmad has been trying, but I think he has not been as effective lately in the past games. You perhaps feel this is the game where you want to see a bit of him. You want to see him exhibit the things he learned from Ruud van Nistelrooy when he was there. We hear a lot that even Amorim was saying that it's Ruud van Nistelrooy who helped Ahmad the most, I think, even before him and stuff. So we want to see all these things against Van Nistelrooy's own team. I think Van Nistelrooy will leave a bit proud because he certainly is a United supporter. So it's proud of the impact he made on the United players. Of course, not of the result if United win. But the thing is, it's a game. I think that is important. You think about how we've been performing at home. So poor run. Things are looking bad. Worst run for United in so many years. And again, we understand that the team is a work in progress. But again, there is what is acceptable. Even if you're work in progress, you cannot be losing so many games, especially at home, just like that, to any team. Crystal Palace, Brighton, name them. All these small teams cannot just come and bully you at Old Trafford. So there is a bit of pride to fight for. There is a lot to give in this game. And if we don't, trust you me, this is the FA Cup. In the Premier League, people will understand that already we are off the pace, and perhaps the players are also not happy with where they are. So people can understand when you struggle psychologically in the Premier League. But in the FA Cup, the title we are holding, we beat Man City for it under a manager that we felt was not good enough. We have Leicester at home now. This is a team we've beaten twice before, Amorim knows well he can't afford to lose against Leicester. So the pressure is really, really beginning to mount. Perhaps not pressure of the sack, but pressure of just getting results. I don't think even if United lost this game, Ineos are going to sack Amorim. I mean, that's not going to happen. But the thing is, there is that pressure, especially coming from the fans, but even for himself, to not be that coach who gets all the dubious records in your first season. You are brought in to improve the team, but you're breaking all dubious records for fun. You don't want to see that. So it's going to be an important game. He wants to count on these players. The system is known, it's the same, but then which personnel is he going to look at, to rely on, to deliver the results that he wants against Ruud van Nistelrooy and his Leicester City? Guys, this is a high pressure game. It's an important game, but let's see how it will go. I think United has a chance. We have got a real chance in it. It's the FA Cup. The occasion is a bit different. The pressure is a bit different. But again, I mean, for a reunion like that in football, there is always something. Football always has a way of scribbling interesting stories, for itself, for its annals. So it's a tricky game, but not one that United cannot get away with. So let's wait and see. I'll give you my prediction later on in the day as we get proper into the tactical talk and how Ruud van Nistelrooy and his Leicester City plays, but also how we do expect to perform and shape up, especially in our attack, where we've got biggest issues in the past games, especially now that we have Patrick Dogu, and whether or not Chido could be in the team.